Holy energies. Holy moly guacamole. What is going on? Hello, everyone. Welcome. If you are entirely new over here, you're just coming into the room, please say hello. Maybe you're watching this live right now with me, or maybe on a repeat. Either way, the energies are high through the roof. Doesn't matter if this is recording a different moment or the same one. And my name is Eliza Mozal. I am an energy healer, a spiritual mentor. I am absolutely passionate about helping people heal their energy, release whatever it is that they feel it's blocking them, so they can manifest their dreams, their desires, or help them navigate through this journey. And in this specific video, my intention, which is called Victorious, Not a Victim, No Longer a Victim, which is a huge, massive subject for me and for everyone. I believe everyone that I've been working with so far. My intention for you is to actually have an internal experience through which you can feel your victorious side and see the options you have, but also see the very clear difference between both mentalities, being victorious and being a victim. And this is something that I had to adjust, change, and see in my life in order to have an entirely different experience that I craved so much to have. So what has happened actually when I started approaching this life, this whole journey, everything in an entirely different way? I actually manifested a whole new life. And at the beginning, the changes were internal, a little bit outside. The jump shift here was really high. Then it didn't feel no longer that high. Then it was like that, like that, like that. And the most important thing I had to learn about myself and this journey is that there is a specific way I am looking at life, at myself. There is a specific label I have attached to my forehead that is actually dictating the end result of everything I am going through. And it's actually placing me and my life experience on a specific shelf, the victimhood shelf. So I had to realize that first by simply looking within and becoming really honest with myself about my journey. So, of course, hello everyone. So, of course, at the beginning of this journey, through the amount of internal pain that I was going through, unbearable suffering, I had to realize that, OMG, I am actually the one who placed myself there. My whole life, I have been operating from a place where I would be blaming others for how I think and feel, where I would have the same story in my head. And the story in my head was that my parents divorced and then they were this way and that way towards me. And this is what in my 20s I would be saying so out loud to everyone I met. That was before I had my big awakening. Something inside of me right now wants to mention, I know someone needs to hear that before we had our awakening, spiritual awakening, big awakening, or one awakening after another, because for me, this is a unlimited amount of awakenings, which is expanding to deeper layers and deeper, wider levels for the capacity of the light to come through and shine its beautiful light on that which we didn't see before. And it was all over here all this time. So I remember in my late teens, I would be having experiences out of my body. I would be having like this divine guidance telling me to move out of the road right now because the car is approaching. There would be few things that I have had And there was always this other side of me, this analytical side of me, and that massive fear. I didn't know back then, but now I know. It was fear of how am I seen by others that would be rejecting that side of me. And I remember making a really amazing new friend, Marta, in my when I was 19 and 20 in this new workplace that I was in. It was my first job actually that I had for like 3 years, 3.5 or something like that back in Poland before I moved to Scotland to be there for 17 years of my life. And I remember I would be walking with Marta from work at the evening because we were working like crazy hours, like literally like 70 hours a week, just madness. Um, and I remember I would be walking and she would be asking me questions. I would be opening up and I would be feeling safe with me to be me. I didn't felt with Marta that that I would be judged or criticized or that will be actually shared with anyone. I could entirely allow myself to be me as much as I allowed myself to be me. And just remember, the way I felt shaped in my through my conditioning that I signed up for willingly on a soul level. I couldn't feel much freedom, and there was a lot of free soul within me that wanted to be expressed and felt and seen and heard every day, but I didn't felt that it's safe for me to do it. So I remember saying to Marta when I was 19, by the way, I can hear thoughts. I know what people are actually thinking and feeling. I hear the voice in their head. And I often hear the voice that it's not their true voice, but the voice that they obey, the dictatorship voice, the one that they're afraid of not listening to. And she looked at me and said, like, okay, that's very interesting. I don't remember I said that to anyone else after, ever again, until maybe 3 years ago. And was as well in between that time when I was 19 or 20, 19 probably. And when I started meditating, maybe I was 33 and a half, something like that. I don't remember that I said it to anyone, but that big side was by me so pushed down, so pressed, so repressed. So if you're watching this now, I would love you to start listening with your heart. And I would like you to tune in with a moment in your life, back. Maybe you were tiny, maybe you don't remember, but you just know inside that moment when you just knew something that is different than or accepted in this 3D reality. And I bet, if not now, in this moment, you will have the memories coming back to you, maybe in your meditations, if you are a daily meditator like myself and majority of us here in this tribe. Maybe it will come to you when you're all of a sudden washing dishes, 2 weeks from now on, you're like, oh my God, I remember when I was 15, this and this and this happened, and I seen the stars and whatever. So allow the opening to come to you. And I have just finished doing a powerful meditation with a group of amazing people. And I'm doing these meditations nearly every week on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. EST in Sovereign Hearts group by Eliza Mozal on Facebook. So if you would like to join us, find us on Facebook, join the group. I will let you in. Send me a friend request or follow me on Facebook to see the stuff that I am sharing, and allow yourself here in this now moment to feel the heart coherence that is beaming out of my heart. That energy comes not just from me. It isn't on a will power driven only. It actually comes from a higher aspect. Hi, Sherry. Hello, gorgeous. Hi, little one. Hi, Terry. It comes from a higher aspect, and it actually flows through me the second I decide to step on the side and allow this higher frequency, this higher divine consciousness, higher divine realms to just simply work through me. And it's also based on the amount of time I have spent in my past in deep meditations. They were years where I was meditating for 3, 4 hours a day, every single day, day in, day out. And that created a specific momentum. It created a gap. It created a gap between me and a thought, and created very powerful experiences. Because I don't know about you, but I was conditioned into victimhood, and I just dove into it, like just melted into it like a piece of butter on a hot frying pan. I just melted into the victimhood, like, yes, because this is what I signed up to experience on this journey. But also I signed up experiencing overcoming it. And lordy lord, my soul knew what it's putting itself into, because it's not easy. It has not been easy for me. And this is something I need to watch every single day. I had a very powerful and profound chat today with one of my one on one clients, where we were talking about those patterns and what if they will actually never go away. What if that voice, whatever that voice tells you in your head, what if it's never gonna go away? What if that some level of depression, some level of anxiety, or some level of negative, doubtful thinking there is somewhere within you and around you, floating around your field? What if that's never gonna go away? What if this game, what if this journey is not about getting rid of anything? Okay. What if it is actually about the depth and the level of awareness you will allow yourself to go into? Knowing and remembering that if you are not it, why would you run away from it? Okay. So if you are not that suicidal thought or that doubtful thought telling you you are not worthy and no one cares, okay? If this is not you, because you meditated enough to tap into some kind of deep feeling and knowing that you are much more than that thought form, you will know from a place in your heart, from that beautiful open space and presence, okay, I am not that thought. So if I am not that thought, can I allow myself to just simply observe it? Okay. And no longer run away from it. And that's what is extremely life changing for me. So I've realized in my life, on my journey, on my self development, self improvement, spiritual awakening journey within the last 7.5 years, that I am actually making myself a victim of everyone and everything. And I just became so tired. I just became so tired of being a victim and manifesting in my reality situations in which my mind is always going to try to make me a victim of it. Okay. Because sometimes it isn't about, okay, I manifested split disc in my back and I called 911, no one came, they decided I am not then, and and I was there screaming for hours on my floor, not even neighbors came. That's a very powerful victim story. Very powerful. Can you imagine that particle of me that it's all about victimhood now dancing? Yes, hallelujah, I got it again. Here we go, like high five me. Right? Can you imagine that particle of me what it's doing now? Like, yes, the chemicals of the victimhood are feeding me again. I got my thing, let's dance, let's party, let's celebrate it, let's make an anniversary from that day every single, year. Um it isn't about that. It isn't about exactly what happens. It's about the way we allow our mind to label it and we actually believe it and we make it true. Okay? That's the part of it. I can feel my heart is just beaming with so much powerful energy. So if you can feel energies, this is the time for you to open up your own heart and receive this heart coherence. And I have trained myself to be in my heart coherence with my eyes open and closed. I was just determined to practice, doesn't matter what. And it started a moment when I decided I am done. I am absolutely done with being a victim of the reality I created myself. I am also done entirely with constantly giving the old meaning to any situation. I am also done with feeling the way I felt. And I remember just doing that multiple times throughout few years, but it's like a little formula that I wanted to share with you. If you feel done with something in your life, I actually shared that in one of my posts somewhere within the last 2-3 days. I'm living so much right now in a moment that I really have to stop and pause to think about the past. So you can go to my Facebook or Instagram and try to find this. And I absolutely love it to be in that flow. I just love it to be here and now. And today it's been like holy moly, guacamole. The energies are like kicking in. AC is blowing, but it doesn't work. Temperature is not going down. Sun even is not shining. And there is showing 80 Fahrenheit on our meter. And I am trying to wipe the sweat off, and something is not working here. I was connecting with the tribe and leading meditation, and I couldn't do that because all of a sudden my camera doesn't work, and that never happened before. So it's like the energies are kicking in with the solar flashes, and they are giving us an opportunity to give an entirely new meaning. What was the meaning for me to pick it up today? That is entirely different and victorious, empowering. Is that wow? I've got my beautiful opportunity to be flexible. I got my opportunity to create something fun with all of it, like holy guacamole instead of oh no, poor me, and just ride with it, right with it, strengthening my own Eliza, I love myself, doesn't matter what muscle, and still deliver 5 times more than I thought it's possible by surrendering and opening up. But that's not the surrender I'm talking about. Oh, I don't care, whatever, let me cancel it. No, although that thought came to me. Don't get me wrong, I am human. I'm no better than anyone else. I'm not above anyone or anything. There is just that simple, let's call it 3-step formula that I have came up with, experienced over and over again, and it's creating magnificent. I cannot stay much longer on this live, so I'm going to invite you, wise words. Thank you for being here and listening with your heart. I'm going to invite you to grab a pen and paper. And the number one is to come up with a strong decision. How do we do it? By simply feeling the pain of it. Feel the pain of creating your own reality the way you no longer are willing to put up with. Like, feel the pain, be with that experience, feel it fully, entirely in your body. When that was 3 years ago, I was lying on the bed. It took me few hours from the floor to get up and get to my bed. 911 did it came. None of the neighbors came. Called my friends, no one answered and came. That was just like I manifested such a situation. And I remember I literally faced the choice. Am I staying here or going away? I have split disc in my spine. The pain is so unbearable that I don't know if I peed myself or not. And I did. And it's maybe brutal to hear about it, but that's the truth. That's the reality. That's the reality. And I remember lying there and asking myself, how have I done this again to me? How did I do this? And the amount of guilt and shame that it was flooding, but in the same time, a massive opening. And I allowed myself to be with that pain. You know why? Because I was so disconnected through this amount of pain in survival. I was so disconnected from the light, God, higher power, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't ask for help. The only thing I could do is to check out consciously. I could feel I have that choice, or stay in this pain and feel it all and entirely, and see what is it here for me to see, what is it here for me to see, what is it here for me to see, and take it from it. And that's what I did for a good few hours. Mind you, I never took any tablets, painkillers, or I have literally no memory of doing so. But I remember very well at that time I had none of it in my home. None of it would work, by the way. I don't know if you ever had a shot of morphine and the level of pain that is required for more. Okay. So feel entirely, fully, and entirely your reality as it is. Don't be it, but feel it. Allow yourself to create the gap by being so intensely present in your body that you know what is your breath, you know where is your heart, you know where is your heart center, you know where is any of other of your centers, energy centers. Be so present and allow this energy to be, not to get rid of it, not to change it, not to manipulate it, not to shape shift it, not to become a master of it. The mastering energy in itself is by being with what is, without running away from it in any shape and form. Because if you are master of your own energy, you will sit with it. The same as your own home, right? Let's say it's you and 15 puppies. If you are an alpha dog in that home, your master, you're going to sit with it. You're not going to run away from anyone. You're not going to hide it. You will be facing it, and you will not be walking away. Okay? So feel it entirely as it is. Ollie just came. Ollie. Oh, I love you, Ollie. Oh, my puppy. I will show you her another time. So feel it fully and entirely until you are sick. You may be done with being cheated by other guys. Feel it fully and entirely. Feel and see where do you see the warning signs and you disregard them. Ali is demanding the play. I have to show you guys. Okay. Let's see if we can control that. That's right. Play with me right now. Holly. Oh, Holly. What you're doing? Yep. She's amazing. I love her so much. You have no idea. So if that's the reality you are experiencing over and over again, allow yourself to feel it. Don't run away from it. Don't run away from it. Take away all the blaming thoughts and patterns on the side. Because otherwise, you will be constantly pointing fingers and waiting for someone else to feel it for you and come and apologize for you. What if that's never going to happen? What if that's never going to happen? And for you, in order to open yourself up to a healthy, faithful, beautiful, loving, passionate relationship, you need to actually feel that which is in the way, that which is an entirely different energy. And at the moment, it's pressed and suppressed in your body. So feel it fully and entirely, whatever it is, and say to yourself, whenever is enough, enough is enough. I felt it all. I felt it entirely with my wholeness, with every fiber of my being. And whenever you are ready, make a vow. Make a vow to yourself. Go into the mirror. Whether you're crying, sobbing, screaming, shouting, I don't care. But the more vocal and expressive you are, the more powerful impact that's going to have. And vow to yourself. I vow to myself to never again abandon myself. I vow to myself to become my own parent. I vow to myself to, from now on, make every single decision that it's in alignment with that vow. And the number 2 is to become crystal clear about every single thought, feeling, action, and emotion that it's not in alignment with that vow, and very crystal clear with every single thought, feeling, emotion, and action that it's in alignment with the vow. Because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And stay with it. Doesn't matter how uncomfortable it is. Doesn't matter how uncomfortable it is, mastering your energy is exactly about sitting in the uncomfortable. And number three, every mini, micro, teeny tiny, bitty decision you're making from now on has to be in alignment with that new vow. Okay. So if your vow is to fall in love with yourself, love yourself, is drinking 1 glass of water a day in alignment with it, or 5 or 7 glasses of water? Every single tiny little action, decision making, anything has to be in alignment in this direction. Not no breaks, no holidays, no I will do it next time, I will do it tomorrow. It's just like this morning's meditation. I make a post about it, how for 55 minutes my head was telling me something I didn't want it to hear, and I just allowed myself to observe it. I stayed in my heart coherence and experienced old frequency being within me, telling me I'm not good enough, that this meditation is not working. The score is going to show me that I am not in meditation. And when I'm finishing, the meditation shows me a record score of my heart coherence. Ta-da! That's how important it is to have that feedback, especially when we work in a group environment and with another person who knows what they're talking about, who already did what we want to do. So I'm going to invite every single one of you to tune in with your heart and see within your heart, because we will continue this conversation. See within your heart, when am I making myself a victim of the life and reality I have created, meaning the meaning I have assigned to my life situation. Because trust me, there's so much that we can change. We can go back in time and change the energy and frequency and experiences, creating a whole new frequency that creates an entirely different outcome. And I'll be teaching exactly that and how to do it in Energy Mastery Empire Mastermind that we are starting on Saturday. If you feel called in your heart to join us, we have Victoria, we have Leslie-Ann, we have Terry, we have Trish. Who else we have there? We have Christian, we have Kelly, we have Eliza, we have Andrea. So if there is any of you that feels called to join, and you never met any of these people, I assure you every one of them is absolutely phenomenal, and it will welcome you with an open heart if you feel called to change something in your reality, master your energy, and stop being placed down on the ground on your force by another energy shift, by another old emotion, by another old memory, by things not being in place. Because this is mastering the energy of us, creating that internal unshakable empire that is just a joy to be with yourself and ride through that wave. Thank you for joining me. Travis and I need to join. Well, Missy, you got to sign up ASAP. It would be amazing to have you. And thank you for joining me here. I'm going to finish here. I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you for being here. Mwah! And I will see you tomorrow.